In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add your logo to multiple photos automatically using Photoshop, and I'm going to make this as easy and beginner-friendly as possible. If you have a bunch of images that need a watermark, a brand logo, or a simple signature overlay, this method will save you a massive amount of time because you will record the process once and then let Photoshop repeat it for every photo in the folder. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Photoshop tutorials, and let's jump right in. Before we even open Photoshop, the first thing you want to do is get your files organized. This part matters a lot because the automation will only work smoothly if everything is in the right place. Create a source folder for all of the original photos you want to process. These are the images Photoshop is going to read from. Next, create an empty output folder. This is where Photoshop will save all of the finished files after the logo has been added. And finally, keep your logo file in a permanent location on your computer. The best choice is a transparent PNG because that gives you a clean logo with no background. Just remember, do not move that logo file later because if Photoshop can't find it, the batch process can break. Now let's move into Photoshop and record the action that will automate everything. Start Photoshop first, but make sure no images are already open. That way, your recording starts cleanly. Once Photoshop is open, go to the top menu, click Window, and then click Actions. This opens the Actions panel, which is where you'll record the steps Photoshop will repeat later. At the bottom of the Actions panel, click the plus icon to create a brand new action. Give it a clear name like Add Logo and Save. Then click Record. You'll know it's recording because the red recording light is now on. From this point forward, every step you do will be saved into the action, so try to follow the process carefully. Next, go to File, then click Open and choose one sample photo from your source folder. It doesn't matter which one you pick, as long as it's a normal image from the same batch. This sample file is just being used to teach Photoshop what to do. With the sample image open, go back to File and choose Place Embedded. Find your logo file, select it, and click Place. Photoshop will drop the logo onto the image as a smart object, which is exactly what you want for this workflow. Now position the logo where you want it on the photo. You can drag it into the corner, place it in the center, or wherever your brand design calls for. Then resize it to fit the image properly. When it looks right, press Enter on Windows or Return on Mac to lock the placement in place. Now it's time to record the saving step. Go to File and choose Save a Copy. This is important because we want Photoshop to export a finished version without overwriting the original files. Choose your file format such as JPEG and then select your output folder. Make sure you do not change the file name here. Just keep it as the default so the batch process can handle each photo automatically. Click Save, and if any quality or confirmation windows appear, click OK to continue. After that, go to File and choose Close to close the image. If Photoshop asks whether you want to save changes to the original file, click Don't Save. That way, your original image stays untouched and your exported version is already safely stored in the output folder. Once all of those steps are complete, go back to the Actions panel and click the square stop button to end the recording. At this point, your action is ready to use. You've just created a reusable workflow that tells Photoshop exactly how to open a photo, place the logo, save the result, and close the file. Now comes the part that makes this powerful. Instead of doing all of that manually for every single photo, you're going to use Photoshop's Batch tool. Go to the top menu, click File, then go to Automate and choose Batch. This opens the batch processing window where you can apply your recorded action to an entire folder of images. In the batch window, start with the play section. Set the action drop down to the action you just created, which should be Add Logo and Save. This tells Photoshop which recorded steps to repeat. Next, look at the source section. Change the drop down to folder, then click Choose and select your source folder with all of your original photos. This tells Photoshop where to pull the images from. Now here's a very important setting. Check the box that says Override Action Open Commands. This is crucial because it tells Photoshop to ignore the exact sample file you used while recording and instead open the next files inside your folder. Without this, the automation may try to use the single file from the recording, which would defeat the whole purpose. Then move to the destination section, change the drop down to folder, click Choose, and select your empty output folder. This is where all of your processed images will be saved. And again, there is another important checkbox here. Turn on Override Action Save as Commands. This forces Photoshop to use the save settings you recorded and apply them automatically to every image. It also helps Photoshop save the files with the original file names instead of stopping and asking you what to do for each photo. Once everything is set correctly, click OK. Photoshop will now run through your entire folder and add the logo to each photo automatically. Depending on how many images you have, this may take a little time, but the process is fully hands-off once it starts. When it's finished, open your output folder and check a few files to make sure everything exported correctly. You should see your logo on each image saved in the format you chose, and the originals will still remain safely in your source folder. So that's the full process for adding a logo to multiple photos automatically using Photoshop. You organized your folders, recorded an action, and then used Batch to apply it to an entire set of images in one go. This is a huge time saver for photographers, content creators, small businesses, and anyone who needs consistent branding across lots of photos. If this tutorial helped you, please hit the like button, subscribe for more Photoshop tips and tutorials, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more automation workflows like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.